Hello students, I Kamlesh Kumar. Welcome to all of you at my YouTube channel Social Science Academy. We are studying civics of class 9, in which we are studying chapter 4, that is electoral politics. And in first video we have already seen the overview of the chapter, and in the second video we have already seen the story of Haryana Assembly elections. Now we are going to discuss the topic why do we need elections. So let us see. Elections take place regularly in many democracy. We noted in chapter 1, which was what is democracy, why democracy, that there are more than 100 countries in the world in which elections take place to choose people's representatives. We also read that elections are held in many countries that are not democracy. So, elections held both in democratic as well as in non-democratic countries, but in non-democratic elections held in different ways, but in democracy elections held in another way. So in this entire chapter we will discuss various aspects of democratic elections. So let us see. But why do we need election? This is the most important question. Let us try to imagine a democracy without elections. A rule of the people is possible without any elections if all the people can sit together every day and take all the decisions. But as we have already seen in chapter 2, this is not possible in any large community, nor is it possible for everyone to have the time and knowledge to take decisions on all the matters. So therefore it is in most democracies people rule through their representatives. So practically it is not possible, students, to sit all the citizens of India together every day and take decisions for the country. It is highly impossible, highly impractical thing in the governance. So what we do, we elect our representative, and those representative on our behalf, they take decisions, they make laws, and they govern the country. Is there a democratic way of selecting representatives without elections? Let us think of a place where representatives are selected on the basis of age and experience, or a place where they are chosen on the basis of education or knowledge. There could be some difficulty in deciding on who is more experienced or knowledgeable, but let us say the people can resolve these difficulties clearly. Such a place does not require elections. So if we count experience, knowledge, education in politics or in election, it become very difficult that whose experience, whose knowledge will be considered superior than the other, and it will be difficult to conduct a smooth election. So but can we call this place a democracy? How do we find out if the people like their representatives or not? How do we ensure that there are representatives rule as per the wishes of the people? How to make sure that those who the people don't like do not remain their representatives? This requires mechanism by which people can choose their representatives at regular intervals and change them if they wish to do so. So this mechanism is called election. So people's dislike, like representatives work, and how they work, there is not a fixed formula by applying which we can calculate or we can find out that who is performing better and to whom the people are liking the most. For this, the only way is to conduct elections at a regular interval, in which the people can show their liking and disliking by voting and rejection by their vote. So this mechanism is called election. Therefore, elections are considered essential in our times for any representative democracy. In an election, the voters make many choices. And what are those choices? The first, they can choose who will make laws for them. Means the people decide in the election by judging the candidate, that is this candidate is appropriate for us to make laws or not. They can choose who will form the government and take major decisions. People also judge in the election that which party will form the government, which party has convincing agenda to participate in the election. So they can choose the party whose politics will guide the government and law making. So again, at the end of the decision making, the people decide that who's which party's ideology is good for the country, and it will guide the law making process. So students, that's all in this video. In the next video we will talk about what makes an election democratic. So till then, keep watching. If you are liking my video, please like the video and subscribe my channel, so that you will get the earliest notification of the new video. Thank you. Have a nice day.